Hello, everyone. My name is Mohan Bhakta. I'm a fourth year here at Cal Poly, studying industrial technology and packaging with a concentration in supply chain management. And today I will be detailing a presentation about my spring internship at Enimorro. So here are the following topics that are going to be covered. So primarily we'll go through the company background, then we'll go through the lessons learned, how the ITP curriculum was relevant to my internship, how to find an internship, the importance of finding an internship, and how to get the most out of an internship. So primarily we'll go into the company background. The company's name, as I mentioned before, was Enimorro. The industry is medical deep data. It is a very niche industry, and it is a disruptive one as well. The location was Bay Area, but as a business operations intern, I was virtually involved with all the facets of the startup. Now, here's some context for the company. These are the three products that they're going to kind of bring out to the market in the following years. So they are a startup currently, but they're focused on an intelligent hub, a baby mat, and a baby anklet. And essentially all three of these products are aimed to help young parents kind of making decisions about their newborn babies or infants through predictive analytics. So there are three lessons that I really learned through my internship experience. The first one was understanding a growing startup's business model. So from day one, I realized that a startup has very limited resources and every dollar counts. So ensuring that every dollar goes into the right areas is extremely important. Then I kind of understood the different facets of building a successful startup. So you start off with the people. The humans are the most important part, figuring out here is the head of a certain division, here is a manager that can help us out, here are interns that can kind of bring in their experience and their creativity and their perspectives to really build something beautiful. And then finally, having an open-minded approach to the challenges that may come up. A lot of times during this internship, I found myself kind of having that tunnel vision outlook on things, like there is only one way of getting it done. And after having talks with the CEO, I really recognized that there are different perspectives of kind of solving the same problem. So I would often kind of think macro and really build, a lot of solutions with a very broad approach. And he asked me to kind of break down micro. Then when I went more micro, I was looking at it very complicated rather than simple. And the CEO sat me down and was like, hey, instead of having three applications for the infrastructure, how about we just focus on two and figure out the third one and how to integrate it in some time. Then we'll talk about the ITP curriculum's relevance to my internship. Here are the 5 courses that I really want to highlight. So the first one I want to highlight is Biz 384 Human Resources Management. This is a course I actually ended up taking my spring quarters, my last quarter as well, on parallel with the internship. And the reason it was so important for me was because part of my internship task was to build a digital nervous system. And part of this digital nervous system is a human resource management kind of infrastructure. And while the kind of curriculum of this class didn't really give me too much, the professor gave me a lot of information and a lot of applications and cool ideas to help me out kind of understand, okay, this is how we can kind of step up the infrastructure and build on to different things and use the resources in a very, very efficient manner. This course is not directly in the curriculum, but it is an elective that I chose to take. And the ITP curriculum offered me this opportunity to take this elective. Then I'd like to go into the core 4 ITP courses that I believe really gave me the most value and relevance to my internship. I'd like to start off with lean quality systems. As I said before, every dollar counts in a startup, and thinking lean is extremely important. So everything has to be efficient. Everything has to have a why and a how, and it has to have reasoning behind it. So lean quality systems really taught me to kind of have that thought and that forethought, kind of planning things out ahead of time and really figuring out, okay, right now I might not be able to do step 5, but here's steps 1 through 4 to really get to step 5. Then we have professional technical selling. This class taught me 2 things. 1, professionalism, and 2, the ability to listen with intent and empathy. So in terms of being professional, I was interacting with the CEO of a startup. I had to be extremely professional at all times. I had to reach out via email. I had to, whenever I was on phone, be very professional in my manner because I wanted to bring him value and not waste his time. Then, in terms of listening, oftentimes you kind of want to have that, oh, I want to speak when someone's talking to you. I want to input. I want to give you my input. I really try to bring that down, that feeling down, and really just try to sit and listen and soak it up like a sponge. And that helped me tenfold during this internship because I was able to learn a plethora of information about the industry and also about what my role was and how it would influence and generate value for Enimorro. Then we have operations planning and control. This class really taught me the back end of the businesses and really, as I said before, the foresight, how to really plan ahead of time to ensure that steps 1, 2, and 3 are value added steps that can lead to steps 5 and 6, which will lead to the ultimate goal. Then we have ITB 415, which is supply chain and logistics. And this also kind of sprinkled in that little back end of businesses, that foresight in terms of figuring things out and planning ahead of time, and also the logistical implications of businesses as well. Businesses are very, very complicated. And this course really taught me not only about the supply chain side of things, but also the value chain, ensuring that the first chain link is still bringing value to the last chain link, even though they're not directly connected. Then we'll go into how to find an internship. So there are 3 main ways that I think people can find internships. So primarily we have networking. So with networking, this is how I actually acquired this internship. I was able to network with Chaitan, who's the CEO, through a mutual contact. And I reached out to him, hopped on a call with him, and kind of explained, hey, this is what I do. This is what my experience is, and this is how I can bring value to your company. And we kind of had a back and forth conversation, and he figured out that there was a need for me within the company. Then we have online applications such as Handshake. So Handshake or Mustang Jobs, here as we call it in Cal Poly, allows both the external and internal applications. And it really allows students to have all their applications on one kind of application or one site. So it's very organized in their approach, and they can kind of divide and conquer their time and figure out, okay, there are 9 companies I'm applying to. These are how I'm going to apply to each single one. And there's even sometimes a recruiter's contact information, so that can also lead to step 1, which is networking. Then we have career fairs. So career fairs are extremely important, I feel like, for the more personable aspect of things. So let's say that you're doing an online application, you don't really have that time to kind of show off your personality. All you're showing off is your resume and kind of your cover letter. So career fairs serve as an opportunity to really showcase that and really allow people to see the more personable side of things. Now we'll look into the importance of finding an internship. So there are 4 main things that I feel like are important when finding an internship. You have, building your professional identity, extremely important. Start early, because the harder you work in your first and second year, the easier it is their third and fourth year. Garnering an extended network. You're going to be meeting a ton of different professionals throughout your, professional, journey. And it's really important that you make that impact on each single person, remember their names, reach out to them, follow up, because you never know when that person, that network, you'll never know when you meet them or when you might need to, engage in a conversation with them. And showing your value can also bring mutual value to yourself. Then we have figuring out your professional path through tangible experiences. There's no better way to do that, because if it works out, that's great. You know what you want to do. But even better, if you kind of have an internship and you're like, I don't really enjoy doing this, that's even better, because now you can kind of put your apples into a basket in the future of something you might want to do and explore a different path. And then finally, acquiring a full-time offer. There's a statistic that says that 70% of internships lead to a full-time offer. Now, this is an insane statistic and an insane number. And that's exactly the importance of finding an internship. My experience in the past, my internship with PricewaterhouseCoopers last summer, I was able to acquire a successful full-time offer right after the internship, because you get to tangibly show them, here's my value, here's my assets that I'm bringing to the table, and here's I can help your company grow in the future. Now we'll talk about how to get the most out of an internship. So we have proactivity, internal, external networking, asking the right questions, and professionalism. All 4 of these things are really tied together. They're neck and neck. Being proactive means that you're asking the right questions, you're networking with the right professionals, you always hold yourself up to the highest standard of professionalism, and you're always kind of having that chip on your shoulder that, hey, I'm hungry to learn and I want to learn. So you nonstop kind of look around for resources or look to get your toes wet in different facets. So for me, that was asking different questions and being like, hey, I know that this digital nervous system has a lot of different, financial, you have the recruiting, you have the human resource aspect, you have the accounting aspects, but I don't know, or I'm not an expert in every single area. So being proactive and asking those questions really helped me understand those different areas and helped me gain a very holistic internship experience. So that concludes kind of the presentation and kind of what Enimorro helped me understand about myself, how I grew throughout the internship, and also the ITP curriculum's tangible impact on my internship experience as well. Thank you so much.